Hey guys, what is going on? Carter here. Got another video for you. This is a show and tell type video. I'm just going to compare these two knives, nothing too in depth. Try to keep the ranting down to a minimum. We're just going to look at these two because these are kind of the top two tank knives from Cold Steel, and I want to give you a couple opinions on which one I like more and price points and blah blah blah, that kind of thing. So this is the Cold Steel SR1 full production knife. Right here, came out 2017, I think. This is the Cold Steel 4MAX, which is still a full production knife, but somewhat arguably mid-techy for various reasons. It helps that mid-tech is such a obscure and undefined word now, but I would say it is a slightly step above full production in some capacity. Just throwing that out there. But both of these are kind of, in my opinion, the strongest folders, the beefiest folders that Cold Steel currently has to offer. The other kind of cool thing is this one is literally twice the cost of this one. So this one retails around $130 to $150. This one you can get for about $280, slightly lower than the original USA version. Same materials, you know, same awesome quality, cooler scale in my opinion. But let's take a look at these. So overall size, they're both large. 4MAX is going to be larger, as you can see right there. Blade length is actually quite similar though. If you compare the cutting length, they are almost the exact same. So you do have a lot more handle, or a considerable amount of more handle. A lot is a relative term in the 4MAX. So the handle to blade ratio is better on the SR1 than the 4MAX. Blade thickness is about the same. I could get my calipers, but we're talking very, very close. They're both around 5 millimeters. The 4MAX is going to slice a little bit better just because they're both flat ground, but you can see how this bevel is a little wider than the SR1, so it has more time to taper to the edge. So this one is a little thinner behind the edge. It's going to slice a little bit better. This one is really obtuse behind the edge. I mean, it is thick. It is thick. T-H-I-C-C, thick. So this one's going to be a better cutter. But by no means is this a slicer. I mean, it's not a slicer. Flat ground, starting right there. Super thick. It's not going to chip. Neither one of these is a slicer. However, this one is going to cut a little bit better, in my opinion. S35 VN steel on the SR1. 20 CV steel on the 4MAX right here. Both use dual thumb studs. Same with this one. This one has contoured, blasted, smoothed G10, which is a step above the really flat and really aggressive G10 on the SR1 right here. Makes it a lot easier to go into the pocket, has better kind of feel, better fit and finish than this one. However, I do kind of like the blockiness on the SR1. It's got kind of that industrial type feel to it. Both the thicknesses of the handles are fairly comparable. Actually, no, I take that back. The 4MAX is quite a bit thicker. So this is going to be much beefier in your pocket in terms of the space it takes up. You can also see the width overall of the profile in the closed position. And that's where we kind of come into the cutting ability. As mentioned, this is a wider blade, so when you close it, of course, it's going to be a wider profile in the handle. So the upside to this one having such a narrow kind of height on that blade is you get a thinner profile in the pocket right there. The biggest difference, though, is going to be the weight. The 4MAX is considerably heavier than the SR1. A bunch of reasons for that. As I mentioned, overall it's just thicker, more material. But this has a G10 backspacer. This has a titanium backspacer. This has full titanium liners, whereas the SR1 has slightly thinner stainless liners, but the liners only encompass kind of this area right here. It doesn't extend all the way through the knife. Both have reversible pocket clips, fully ambidextrous. SR1 is the satin finish. You can see the nice grind lines there. The 4MAX is not. It is stonewashed. I like them both for different reasons. Both the fit and finish on these are excellent, standard cold steel. Very few times have I received any sort of problems with cold steel, barring kind of the first USA production run of the 4MAX I had some issues with. But that was quickly resolved. Cold steel's awesome with getting that taken care of. So that's kind of it, guys. To me, you know, a lot of this is preference, what you like. This is easier to carry. This one's engineered kind of more efficiently, right? You're getting the same strength, durability, tank-like features, same cutting length, but in a much lighter and inexpensive knife in the SR1. This one makes more sense from a practical standpoint if you're trying to decide which beefy folder to get just for pure functionality. I would go with the SR1 hands down. However, the 4MAX looks better. It has better steel, it has better finishes on it with the contoured handles, and if you are just a knife snob or enthusiast at all, you're going to appreciate the fact that this is basically a copy, almost a carbon copy of a custom 4MAX with production prices. So for me, if you're going to go super big and beefy, and you can, I would go with the 4MAX. However, I completely understand if you go with the cheaper, lighter, more efficient version in the SR1. So that's my take on these two guys. Do with that information that you will. They're both really awesome. I love both these knives. You can't go wrong with either one. All right, guys, I'm out of here.